Alright, so here's the next lesson. And the learning target is I can use the volume formula to write and solve equations based on real world situations. And the do now is actually a New York State test prep question. So read it, use cubes, solve, and of course show your work. It says that a rectangular exercise mat has a perimeter of 36 feet. The length of the mat is twice the width. Write and solve an equation to determine the length in feet of the map. Then find the area in square feet of the map. You can pause the video. I'll come back with the work in a minute. Alright, so here's the work from the do now. The first thing I did, I drew out the shape that was given. In this case, it was the exercise mat. So I drew that out and I labeled it. I labeled it with an X, which was the width, and 2x, which was the length, because the information that was given was that the length was twice the size of the width. And since it had a perimeter of 36, I added all the lengths up. So 2x plus x equal 36. And then I started to combine like terms. So x plus x gave me 2x. And eventually, all three 2x's combined got me 6x. So I set that equal to 36 as well. But in order to find the value for our unknown variable, I then did inverse operations. So I divided by 6, or the opposite of multiplying, to get x by itself. 36 divided by 6, then gave me 6 for my variable. So this is a continuation of the do now. So what I first did, I substituted 6 for x. So I plugged it in and calculated all the lengths. So 2x became 12, which you did 2 times 6, and the other side lengths became 6. So from there I added them up, 6 plus 6 plus 12 plus 12, in other words 12 times 3, and that got me the perimeter of 36 feet. So that ended up matching the information given to me. So my equation for that part of the problem, 6x equals 36. So that helped me find out all the side lengths. But from there we also had to find the area. And since it was a rectangle, our formula was area equals length times width. So I just substituted again. So 12 times 6 got me the answer of 72 feet squared. So this is the following problem, and these are the problems that we're going to see in today's lesson. So it says that Sam has an ant farm with a volume of 375 cubic inches. The width of the ant farm is 2 5/10 inches, and the length is 15 inches. What is the height of Sam's ant farm? So these problems are different because today we're getting the total volume. However, we have to figure out either the width, the height, or the length that is needed to get that volume. And so using that information, this is how I did it. So I wrote my formula down. So volume equals length times width times height. And I substituted what I did know. The length was given to us. The width was given to us. However, the height was not. And in the end, it should get 375 for our total volume. So I substituted, and the first thing I did do was that I multiplied 15 and 2 5/10. That got me 37 5/10. So I also brought down my h for my variable, and it set it equal to 375. The next step, 37 5/10 times h, gave me 37 5/10 h equals 375. And then to figure out our unknown value, we just have to do our inverse operations. So I divided by 37.5 on both sides to get h by itself, and then 375 divided by 37 5/10 got me the value of h equaling 10. So my height should be 10. But in order to double check, I just substituted again. So if h is 10, it should work. So I did 15 times 2 5/10 times 10, and it did in fact get me 375 inches cubed. So that's the goal for today. So try the next 2 questions on your own and treat this as your independent practice time. So here's the work for the first question. So I kept my formula there, and I substituted the given information. So I put 14.5 for the length, the width was 7, we don't know the height, and I set it equal to 609. All that was given to us within the problem. Now, I forgot to mention this before, but whatever is not given, keep that as the variable. So in this case, I don't know the height, so my variable is h. If I didn't know the width, I would keep it as w. or if I don't know the length, I'll keep it as L. That's just a reminder throughout the problem of what we're solving and what we're trying to find. So I did just like I did before. I multiplied my first two numbers, so 14.5 times 7 got me 101 5/10. And then I brought that down. 101 5/10 times h gave me 101 5/10 h, and it's still equal to 609. And then I did my inverse operations. I divide by the number that's paired with the variable, and 609 divided by 101.5 gave me the value for the height, which is in fact 6. And then I just double checked it again. So if I'm saying the height is 6, all three of the numbers should equal 609, and when I substitute and multiply, I do in fact get 609 inches cubed. So that's number 1 on the independent practice. So here's number 2 of the independent practice. Again, same concept. I substituted what was given. The width was 7, the height was 10, and the total volume is 210. However, in this case, we do not know the length, so the length is the unknown, and L will now be my variable. So I multiplied what was given, so 7 times 10 equals 70. I then multiplied 70 by L, which gave me 70L equal to 210. I then did inverse operation again to get L by itself. So 210 divided by 70 gave me a length of 3. And then again, just to double check, I substituted all three values. So 3 times 7 times 10 in the end does give me 210 feet cubed. So there is number 2 for the independent practice. Alright, so that's the latest lesson on volume. Moving forward, go to the activity sheet. It's the next slide within the PowerPoint that Ms. Gilberto posted. And if you do have any questions, you can reach out to us through Google Classroom. You can send us a message or you can email us. And we'll talk to you there.